We overcame Tom Ford in the first round, but now this is a different challenge altogether. The Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan, against the Thunder from Down Under, Neil Robertson, for a place in the quarter-final of the Betfred World Snooker Championship. Hello there everyone and welcome to the beginning of our round 2 match of the Betfred World Snooker Championship against Ronnie O'Sullivan. Ranked 6th in the world, we of course are ranked 11th in the world. A huge match at this second round stage. It's a real shock to think that one of these big names are going to be out at the second round, and hopefully it's not us. But both players, ourselves and Ronnie, need this a hell of a lot. If Ronnie goes out at the end of this round, only wins £30,000 from the Betfred World Championship, there is potential that he could well drop outside the top 8. For us, of course, it doesn't necessarily mean we'll drop out at the top 16, but this season will definitely be a disaster. So both players have not had the best seasons, and today the player who goes out will be the player that will be incredibly disappointed. But it's not just over today's episode. This will probably be over 3 or 4 episodes, depending on how the game goes and how tight it is. But today, we're going to play the first 7 frames of the match. Now, our record against Ronnie O'Sullivan has been pretty decent this year, actually. For the first 2 times we played against O'Sullivan, we lost against him. But we turned a corner in the Gibraltar Open quarter-final, beating Ronnie by 3 frames to 2. Of course, this is the first time we've played Ronnie over a much longer game, and we need to be careful that we keep our composure and don't lose frames. Last year we got to this stage in round 2 of the Betfred World Championship and went out to Mark Allen the pistol by 13 frames to 12. Went all the way to the last frame, worked really hard. I think we might have even gone 4-0 up at the start, but ultimately it doesn't, until you're over that winning line, it doesn't matter how much of a good start you get. So what I'm saying is you've got to be consistent throughout, and Ronnie is going to be a real tough test at this stage of the World Championship. But it's a challenge that I am relishing, and hopefully you guys are too. This is pretty much going to rule the next week of programming on the Snooker 19 Let's Play, unless we have an absolutely dreadful game and Ronnie wins the first 13 frames. But I can't see that happening. But the key today is to get off to a good start. Potentially, I mean, we'd love to maybe win this session 5 frames to 2. That would be brilliant, be 4-3 up. But even if we're 4-3 down or 5-2 down, it's not the end of the world. It really isn't in a game like this. So we've just got to take each frame as individual, focus on potentially winning each frame, taking every opportunity, and arguably most likely and most importantly is trying to rattle Ronnie's cage. That's not the best safety shot to go with. It's a good break off from us, to be fair.
Really tricky.
And that's the first pot of the day. Great stuff. There's a few reds available to certainly make something of a break here. Now, word of warning, I haven't played Snooker 19 for a little while. It's been probably about a week. So this is very much just a practice frame, really, for us. Just gonna have a look if we go for this blue, whether one of these reds goes, because that'll be the natural position. That red will go. That's okay, then. Got to get this blue right, and they are tricky, these pots, so if we do this wrong we could be handing Ronnie a first chance, but I feel like it's an opportunity that's worth trying to take, and that is a cracker.
Tremendous pot. 6.
Not quite straight on this red, but should be okay. It's a good way to start, that is. Very good way to start. And we're bulk side of the blue, that's important. We're not going to go whacking the reds open straight away, because I don't think that's the right strategy here. The strategy here is just to play it cool and see what we can do and make from this opportunity. And equally, if it's not a frame-winning break, then we haven't smashed open all the reds.
12.
And that was a bit poor, to be honest. It's a very weak shot. Wasn't quite what we were planning there. We'll play a bit of a shot to nothing here.
He's playing for the right corner here.
Put a little bit more angle on it. But it's there.
No issues there. Simply
But seeing as it was a shot to nothing, we're going to play one of the bulk colours.
13.
Might play the blue, but no, we'll just play the bulk colour. Nice and straight on the green. And, maybe try and bring the ball round the table. But that wasn't really hard enough. But to be fair, we give ourselves a much straighter pot on this long red rather than a more acute angle than before. So, not the best of shots in the world, but at the same time, one that I'm fairly happy with.
Well, he's taking it on.
Gonna have to work very hard to beat O'Sullivan here, but ultimately the World Championship is that tournament that it's absolutely crucial to go and beat the big boys. I have to say that was a little bit of a poor shot. Trying to go all around the table, see what we can do. Needs to be bulk side of that blue, to be honest, to do anything, but
That's okay, I think.
we'll see what we can do. And, well, there's nothing there, is there? Absolutely nothing there. So, just, again, player safety. Got 22 points. Got RI in at least at the start of this match. As I said before, if we'd have opened up the reds, you know, we could have been leaving Ronnie a massive opportunity at this point, but we haven't. That's a good safety shot. Yes, it's not a snooker, but he's got a cue high on this brown and could be a little bit awkward for him. And he's hit the brown, and he's given us another opportunity. So Ronnie not quite hitting his stride so far, but believe me, it doesn't take too much for Ronnie to hit his stride. I don't want to give you more opportunities than it's worth.
Well, he couldn't have played that any better.
Wouldn't be mind this being straight for the blue, but it's not quite going to have the legs to do that.
One.
There's not a fat lot we can do here with the situation that the table's at. I suppose we can play the green and try and screw back, potentially. Or just play with a hell of a lot. We'll play with some top, but not play terrifically hard.
Well,
and again, if it's another safety, then it's another safety.
He'll be annoyed with that. 4.
So it's not going to be one of those excellent frames where we pull a sentry out the bag straight away and look absolutely awesome. But it's one of these frames that we'll just have to fight to win. Hit the green full ball. It's not ideal, but I think it were okay.
Neil Robertson, 4.
And we're just getting to grips in this match, and more importantly, avoiding Ronnie have any sort of chance. But he can always do that to you. I thought he got the snooker there, but he didn't. Just a safety to get out of this, and hopefully we can get in a decent position up bulk. That will do. Right on the cushion would be lovely. Not bad at all.
That's an excellent safety. He's playing the safety and aiming to get the cue ball tight against the...
So no pot for Ronnie so far, which is great, but again, he can always do this. He can always do that. That's a cracking snooker. Really is. And that's the sort of liberty you take by playing safety with Ronnie, and because he's a cracking player. Yeah, my safety game's pretty poor. So we're just going to reset everything here. And yeah, we've got a bit of a predicament here, haven't we? We certainly have. Because the reds are quite open, it's a tricky shot. And unfortunately, we got out the snooker, but as Neil Fold says, it hasn't ended well. So this is Ronnie O'Sullivan's first opportunity. That's just the liberty you take, playing safety with Ronnie. He found the opportunity for a snooker, got a very good one. And the chances were pretty good, so... Ronnie is now favourite, I would say, to take this first frame. Let's see what he can make of this opportunity. So whether he just wants to show that confidence and whack into the reds or not, ultimately.
Played it well.
But that's a good shot. Ronnie can very much do the unexpected. But as I've said, it's a best of 25. It's not like the best of 5s. You have to take a very different approach to these games and not get too worried if you lose the odd frame here and there. Yes, it's disappointing to give away an opportunity cheaply, but sometimes you don't get the rub of the green, and it's not worth getting frustrated over individual frames. The best thing you can go and do, if say we were to lose this frame, is just come back and bounce back in the next frame.
This is a tricky one along the cushion.
But he'll take the lead with this black. I think he'll probably play into these 4 reds if he can, just to open them up a bit. So there's a little bit of awkwardness with those 2 reds that are away from the pack, but now he's playing the pink. Interesting. Just try and exploit these 2 reds that are free and then cope with the 4 reds that are providing a little bit of a spot of bother afterwards. I like that approach. Not too gung-ho. A little bit awkward on the blue here. Who's going to play the green?
31.
I wouldn't be best pleased with that. It's a bit of a tighter pot. And he's missed it. Gets away with it though. You almost feel like that was the aim there.
He looks like he's trying to get the cue ball tight on the cushion here.
Don't hit the blue. Well, if you're not careful, those sort of mistakes can lead to real chances.
Yes, he's taking the pot on.
And it's almost like he didn't want that to go in first off. Because this gives him a bit of a better opportunity now, as you can see. All the 4 reds are available to him. So that was either a very, very clever, crafty piece of almost safety, I suppose. Or whether it was just a bit of luck. A bit of unintended luck. Hitting the blue, though, was our nasty one there. If we hadn't have hit the blue, we'd have probably got back up to bulk. But he's playing the yellow.
Wonderful shot.
Superb cue ball control there. Ideal position.
11. 12.
Nicely played.
19. 20.
Well, he's very close to winning this first frame now. And now 32 ahead.
27.
Just needs the reds. Just the 1 red.
Red required.
And he's there.
It goes.
That should be it. No real way for his opponent to win the frame now.
So just snookers.
28.
Need snookers required. And that is a beautiful, beautiful
That
blue.
shuts the door on his opponent in this frame.
33.
And this could well be a break of 60.
35.
Certainly a decent break. It's not been the best frame for us. But as I've said before, we bounce back. Don't necessarily worry about this. Yeah, it's not gone right.
2.
But the best thing to do is maybe just to start worrying about the next frame. And start thinking, well, let's try and win this back. Let's bring it back to 1 each.
53.
As long as this doesn't spiral out of control in the first session, as long as we get
Great clearance.
at least 2 frames on the board, then I can't say I'll be happy,
First frame.
but I won't be too unnerved.
And that is the frame.
6-1, and it's a bit of a disaster. Anything better, and we're okay. I'd love to be on the
Thank you.
right side of it, of course, and we still can be. We can still go 6-1 up. But getting the first frame on the board is that short-term goal to start off with. That's a very good break off from Ronnie. Very good. So, I'm just going to play into the reds. Little risk. As I said before, play those shots with the smallest risk. As you can see, very close to the green there. Just about got through though. And that ain't bad at all. Happy with that. Who's going to play away? Where's that cue ball? You're lucky so-and-so. Very lucky. Just play past this red. That'll do me. A bit of a silly safety battle here, I think, because of what we did, but we haven't really got much more chance. Let's just try to push that red away. Give us a little chance to do anything. We're going to play this as soft as we can and just get it back up the table. We'll take that. Doesn't matter if it's on the bulk cushion or not. You can't get to any of these. In terms of a pot, anyway.
So he's looking to play safe again.
Unless he's worked out a 14 ball plant, of course. I say 14 because the one was a little bit further away. That was a good safety from Ronnie, but we can just about get to the edge of this red, which will be a bit of a saviour here. No contact with the brown. Very interesting, very close. That's a good safety. Is it going to be one of them? It's going to be very close. Whoever blinks first in this frame. It is going to be one of those safety battles.
That looks very safe to me.
And it might be us who blinks first. We get away with it to an extent. Because the one ball that's gone away is quite close to the cushion. And certainly not possible from that position. Gives Ronnie a bit of a spot of bother, but he deals with it absolutely fine. Yes, we could go for it, but it leaves a hell of a lot on if we miss it. Oh, well. I wouldn't have thought for a minute that would have brought the red back up the table. But it hit pretty much full ball. But still, we get away with it. No potting opportunity. And now the reds open up. And particularly this red is the one that worries me. So I'm just going to get this on the cushion. Onto the bulk, more importantly. And try and move that red. Which makes it very awkward for Ronnie. Yes, he can have a pot, he can have a putt, he can have a punt at this. But whether he's going to take that risk, he certainly doesn't. Hits the yellow though. Gets away with it to some extent because that brown covers that off. Interesting. The brown has certainly been Ronnie O'Sullivan's saviour here. Oh, well. The hit off that red didn't work quite as intended. But once again, it seems we're getting away with a few liberties here. A few poor shots. But he's got that this time. That's a very good opening red. Bit too close to the bulk. That's a great green.
Playing very well here.
The one thing you can't deny is Ronnie's ability. Queuing ability is absolutely fantastic. So, it's Ronnie in again.
10.
We're being a little bit outclassed in every department just at the moment.
That's a wonderful, wonderful pot.
Nothing to get too concerned about.
Well, that's a top quality shot with the red.
But maybe something to just have a think about.
14.
Although, he's just managed 14 there, and that's it.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 14.
Pace is absolutely critical.
I don't know if you could hear, but that was the dog's appearance in today's video. She likes to get a little cameo in, bless her. That's a good safety.
That's what he was
We'll
going
take
for,
that every day of the
and he's
week.
played it well.
And actually, we got the snooker. So, he's not got out of that one very well.
He's navigated his way out of the snooker, but he hasn't left the cue ball safe.
So now, we have our opportunity in this frame. I did fear that Ronnie was potentially going to go and run away with it from there. But as of yet, He hasn't. Can only make a break. A meagre break, albeit. Pretty mediocre one of 14. See if we can better that. Breaks of 22 and 4 for us in the first frame. Of course, nowhere near enough what we were planning for.
But a half chance. What a beautiful pot.
Get the table moving a bit.
7.
Bit of flexibility. We'll tie that yellow, seeing as it's pretty much a no-risk straight pot.
Going for the left corner pocket.
That's a lovely pot. We've got a good chance here if we keep our composure. Ronnie will probably be spitting feathers. But he could only manage 14.
10.
And you could tell how far off we were with that because we wanted to play it into the centre pocket. But we underscrewed so badly that we're having to play it to the top right.
That's a top shot. Well played.
Really impressive cueing.
15.
But we're okay for the moment. We're absolutely fine. But we've underdone that. But again, we get away with it. It's just the rub of the green sometimes.
15.
The way the table's playing, whether you've got the flexibility. That's what it's all about sometimes.
The split looks good to me.
That was a great opportunity for a split. And as Neil Fold said, this is as good an opportunity as any to get this match back to how it started. Level pegging. I'll tell you what, we need to sort out our cue power. We need to get a lot more accurate or else we're going to have problems, especially when we're playing shots that need that accuracy, that require it. Or else we could be in big trouble.
29.
But we're surviving at the moment. Keeping on deck.
So, this pot's into the right corner.
But it only takes one silly mistake. I'll tell you what, the table does seem to be playing a little bit almost rigidly. You know, you miss by 1% and the table seems to be slow more than anything. That's the way I would describe it.
Beautiful.
He seems full of confidence at the moment.
32.
But this frame really isn't over yet. It's amazing how
Attempting to sink this.
we're only got a break of, what, 32 going on?
That's a beauty.
He's
And
right
again,
on
it's
top
all
of
about the
game.
rub of the green. We didn't quite play that shot right, but even so, we've got the position for the black.
40.
And these are the just awkward shots that sometimes you have to play. I don't think black will go, so we'll go for the straight blue. And hopefully it is nice and straight. Pretty much is, yeah. I'm happy with that. Great stuff.
He's an expert long potter and he's
Important
taking
pot though, this. And it's there. And the reds are just at our fingertips now.
46.
So we've stole this one from Ronnie, I would say. Don't want to jinx ourselves just yet, but I think we've had too much danger. I think that we should be okay.
47.
Just to be safe, because it's a straight shot, you can get that little bit more control on it. I'm going to play the
well, no surprises
blue to the
here
top
with
pocket.
long pot attempt. Tremendous
not all about big breaks and maximums sometimes. It's just about getting it right. And this is going to be a tense match. You know, in the World Champs as much as anything.
53.
You aren't going to hear much of my mumbo-jumbo of rubbish and silly talk. So I can do that very easily.
just the pink ball now.
Today is not the day for that. And with that pink,
That should
barring
leave
snookers,
no way back into this frame for his opponent.
we've made it back to 1 each.
59.
Over really mucked that up. Thought the red would go, so not necessarily all over yet. Ooh, well. Not quite over the line.
59.
He's 45 behind with 43 remaining. So a snooker here. He's got a chance. Not quite got it though. We might as well go for the opportunistic pot. Ooh, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Goodness me. It's a decent chance for a snooker though, potentially. And he's got it.
That's an excellent shot and a challenging snooker.
Well. I said it could come. If we play it off the cushion, it just depends how it bounces.
If he fouls here, the frame is on again.
It's too much of a bounce. And there's a potting chance. The one thing we wanted to avoid, he's going to play on, of course.
Wow. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Let's try and get another one here, I think. Lucky bugger. Not quite got it, though. Maybe because he was only sort of 2 points in it. Maybe he wants to wait till a better opportunity, perhaps. But we've got it up the bolt this time. And that's not a bad shot. So Rolly needs pretty much everything here. Another snooker, though, would not hurt his cause.
Just the red required here.
I love how David Hendon's so optimistic. But where's that red? Where's the cue ball?
Ball
Well,
drops, and that's a foul.
Foul. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
He looks to be playing on here.
and Ronnie's well back in it now. He's done us left, right and centre.
He's looking to pop this into the right corner.
And he's potted the red.
An excellent pop.
Well, well, well. What a steal this would be. If only we'd have just got it right on the red and this would have been all okay. This is a little bit of a challenging one though. It's there. Could do with playing the black just for that bit more security. But he's going for the blue. So 25 back with 27 remaining. It's going to be a close one here. Needs everything on the table. And I'm just banking he makes a mistake. But I'll tell you something, I can't see it.
21.
So a few lessons to potentially learn in this frame.
26.
That's a crushing blow. Not over yet. But I think it pretty much is now. Just the black.
Goes in, that'll be the frame.
And Ronnie O'Sullivan makes it 2-0.
39. And the frame, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
And now the frame is his.
So, time for frame 3. I'll admit I've had a little break since the first 2 frames. And hopefully that little break has just re-energised us. Tried to get us to fall out of that little rut that we were in. Because we don't want this to get into a situation where we are fighting back straight away. Yes, we're 2 back. But really we could do with keeping it like that now. Being 2 back as a maximum. 3 back maybe is okay at this point. But we certainly don't want to get into a situation where Ronnie wins both of the next 2 frames. And we're talking about 4 or 5-0. Because against someone like Ronnie, against any top 16 player, that is something to worry about.
Taking this red on.
But we've got a chance here. And that is a very nice pot. So we're in first in this frame. Not the best opportunity in the world, but it's okay. Black, of course, won't go past the red, but there's an opportunity for that red potentially. We can screw back from this blue. But it's a bit of a risk. So I think being 2-0 down, I'm quite happy to potentially just get it behind this pink. But then, no, that could leave the red on, so I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going to get this up to bulk. I think that's the sensible thing to do. Try and get this fairly close to the brown. You know, we took the pot on, and if we'd have took the blue on, then it could have been disastrous. But we decided not to, and I think that is the right decision. It just means Ronnie can't get in. But as we saw last frame, when he stole the frame from us, safety is something that you don't really want to be messing with Ronnie with particularly. That's a good one. That is a good safety. But it's testing times here. I'm not surprised Ronnie's made a good start. It's certainly not ideal for us. We've just got to build on it here. And just going to do a bit of bloody tap, 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 aren't we, really? Until we're touching ball at this point. Or one of us makes a terrible mistake. Ronnie playing away from the Reds. Wasn't touching ball, but he's come back into the pack. Open them up a little bit, but...
Brilliantly played.
Again, there's nothing open, so we might as well just give it a good tap.
Could end badly.
And it is touching ball this time, so he's got to play away from the Reds. And he's going to take that up bulk. And he's left an opportunity. That is quite a poor shot from Ronnie O'Sullivan there. Quite a shock. Has to be said for a player of Ronnie's stature. I mean, I think the wrong way to approach this is to say, well, we're playing against Ronnie here, and Ronnie's the best player, you know, possibly the GOAT, and all this talk, because we've beaten Ronnie before.
What a beauty.
He's sixth in the rankings, so he's not the best player at the moment, ultimately. Mark Selby is far and away the best player at the moment. That was a bit of a poor shot, by the way. We're going to go for the pink, but we incredibly underdid that, so got a little bit of a spot of bother on our hands here. Screw back for the red. This could go all kinds of wrong, but there's not too much risk involved, I was arguing, and that's absolutely okay. Surprising from Ronnie there that he mucked up the safety, but we'll try and take advantage from that. Try and develop a little break here. Might not be a frame winning one necessarily, but it's certainly a good chance.
7.
Just try and play into some of these reds. Who knows? Could get a chance. Black should go. I don't think there's much problem with that. Black's there.
The split looks good to me.
And the split's okay. Not ideal cue ball position, but we'll see what we can do from here. Yeah, that red will go. That's as nice a pot to the middle as you can imagine.
This isn't easy.
Good pot. Just got to be careful with all these reds spread out now that we don't get caught, because that can happen very easily. We don't get caught in the reds, and because that, as I say, that can happen very easily. You can get snookered behind one, and that mucks up the whole break and makes safety a hell of a lot harder.
22.
Because there's various factors you're trying to avoid. Not the best shot in the world. I think we can play this one up the table without too much risk. Want to keep it nice and close to the cushion. Play it, give it just a tap.
Along the cushion.
Need this to go ideally, and it does. Lovely pot.
Trademark long pot there. Such talent.
Yeah, played it well.
23.
I'm glad to see the two blokes in the commentary box actually approve of what we've done for once. Very rare we get that sort of approval. And I come back to the black cushion though now. Now we've used that bulk. And I think if we play this well, if we think about shots, because those 4 or 5 reds by the pink could be a bit of a spot of bother. So we've just got to think tactically about shots, think where we're going to get opportunities. And if we do, I think we should be good to bring this back to 2-1.
27.
Be crazy not to take this opportunity.
looking to pop this into the right corner.
Just having second thoughts about this pink, but we're going to take it on. And it's straight in the middle.
Nice.
What's position like? That was my next worry.
33.
So I don't think we're not playing cleanly at the moment. Either that or the table just doesn't seem... I mean, I know we can't start making excuses about the table. However, it just doesn't seem quite right to me today. It doesn't seem like it's playing the way it usually does. But we're okay here for the moment, so that's absolutely fine.
34.
But again, not the cleanest of shots. Wants to get on the blue, potentially to the middle. Well, that just hasn't happened, so green again and hopefully play with some power and get back down to where we should be. And that touch on the brown is absolutely fine.
On top of his game at the moment.
37.
Which gives us a bit more control. Can pop this red into the middle, get straight on the blue,
38.
and that just makes position a little bit easier. And I wouldn't say it's nerves particularly here. I just don't think we've got off to a great start.
Very nicely done.
But whereas in the last game where, yes, we only played a best of 5, that was my fault. In the last game, if we'd have made this sort of start, we'd be really panicking. But because it's a best of 25, we can get away with it.
Position to take on a colour here.
44.
Now, I'm wondering if this brown goes because, yeah, it does. Nice big spot for it. I'm just worried that, you know, if we wanted to play the green, then we wouldn't be able to, of course, with... well, it depends what side we're coming from, I suppose, but the brown, in most situations, would snooker us on the green.
Really impressive.
So with how Ronnie come back in that last frame, we just want to avoid any stupid possibilities. Nice and light on this red. I don't know, I'm saying green.
49.
Well, he's playing this into the left middle pocket.
We're not too far away, but things can still go wrong. That's overdone. Ooh, that's okay, actually. Whew, breathe a sigh of relief, get away with that. Only just, though. He still leaves a very tough pot into the right middle. So we've got to play a bit of a shot to nothing here.
Yes, he's taking the pot on.
And that's a lovely pot.
What a wonderful pot.
That's great. But as you've just seen, if we missed that,
55.
hopefully we wouldn't have left anything on. Maybe just the one we were playing potentially.
It just needs this blue.
And just the blue needed.
Well, that's right out of the top drawer.
And that should be our first frame on the board. And a very important quote, and one that I believe is definitely true, is that you never quite get comfortable in this game until you win your first frame.
A little awkward there.
61.
If Ronnie had have won that frame as well, I think we'd have started panicking. Thinking, well, where's this first frame going to come from? I misjudged that. Maybe try a plant. Ain't going to hurt if it doesn't go in, I don't think. No, absolutely nowhere near. But I think we're quite safe now. Quite safe to win this frame out. Ronnie coming back, could be wrong.
Robertson.
But yeah, I don't think he's going to come back to the table. And we've won our first frame. That is a relief. That is a real relief. Not the best of frames, but we kept Ronnie out of it throughout.
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Played a poor shot in the safety battle. Left a red on. And from there, we controlled the frame. And once again, he's left a starter.
Shot there.
You know, if this was me, I'd be pretty gutted because... I mean, of course, I know the frame's not over yet, but...
So,
from being 2-0 up,
to the right corner.
he could well leave an opportunity here for us to bring it back to 2 each.
1.
And big leads are something to be savoured in the World Champs. It's very unlikely you can get them because in most games you're looking at to and fro, maybe being 1 frame ahead, 2 frames at most really, unless you're really dominating your opponent.
This should be pretty straightforward.
we are playing a little bit better since the first 2 frames. That's a
Good for a colour.
bit encouraging.
7.
And we're just going to try and open up this pack of reds. Don't hit the pink first, leave it where it is. And it is a risk, but hopefully we should be
Power on this
okay.
shot.
And would you believe it? The one ball that we aimed not to hit was the only one we managed to hit. That's quite staggering. But this red will still go, so we get away with that. Need to be quite precise.
Nicely onto the colour.
13.
Left ourselves a little bit awkward here, haven't we? Apply this with power and see what happens. Oh, that's not ended up too badly, actually. If we'd applied that soft, we wouldn't have been on a red, so
20.
it's worth to try. And it seems we're getting the rub of the green a bit more at the moment. But these are the sort of situations that you've got to be very precise. I was talking earlier about being a few % off here and there. And if we were there, you know, maybe we would have got into the reds, been absolutely
21.
dead on the black and not been able to get to it.
Would you
That
believe it?
doesn't end up behind the pink.
28.
Well, would you believe that? Would you believe that? So much for getting the rub of the green, eh?
He really needs to be mindful of pace here. Doesn't want to overhit this.
We've hit the red. We don't quite get away with it.
Not played that well. Tough shot, but he could have played it better.
And Ronnie's in here.
Neil Robertson.
First time in this frame. It's a little bit of a concern. We mucked it up for ourselves, though, there. The only place where we didn't want to be
6.
was behind that pink. And playing with topspin, you leave that risk sometimes.
7.
That's what's happened. We can't turn back now. Need to focus and hope that Ronnie doesn't do anything here. But he's opened up the reds. Oh, you lucky bugger. Very nearly went and put in an illegal ball there with that red, but didn't. And there are a few opportunities available to him now.
15.
So let's see what he does from here. Can he get a frame winning break
Just wants this pot
and restore his 2-frame lead?
20.
I think that our aims from this 7-frame session are very much going to be determined by this frame here. We can bring it back to 2 each, then it changes our goals altogether. But to be 2 frames behind from here, we need to look at just consolidating. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens from here and see if he wins the frame.
Excellent cueing.
You'd say from his form so far, bar the last frame, which was a little bit of a weak one for him, that he looks good to win this frame.
34.
Just going to tap this into the middle pocket.
35.
Easy as you like. So 5 reds left. Frame's fairly close to the moment. 7 points between us. Let's see what he can do.
aiming for the centre pocket here.
41.
Can always commit a careless mistake. That was a risk. That was close to the corner pocket there, but wasn't in the end. So he's taking the red on. And that's lovely. Brilliant cueing.
That's a wonderful, wonderful pot.
48.
So he's 27 ahead. 43 left on the table. And he's playing this long red. Looks good. Looks very good. Oh, well. Brilliant.
That's great cue ball control. Excellent position.
Just needs the black and the red.
56.
And Byron Snookers, he restores that 2-frame lead, and that's how quickly all our hard work from the previous frame can go away. If we'd have brought it back to 2 each, then it's back on level pegging, obviously, and just really is a best of 21 there.
No problem there.
But now that we're 3-1 behind, barring the snooker,
His opponent in
this
frame.
blue's quite a risk to take on.
64.
But he's potted it.
Beautifully struck.
Great pot.
69.
Now that we're 3-1 behind,
Tricky
I think we
path
have
on
to
the
aim
here.
realistically for a 5-2. It'd be brilliant if we could
Position
perhaps make it 4-3 by the end of the session to Ronnie. Obviously,
77.
we've got to win each of the next 3 frames to end this session ahead. But we shouldn't be too pessimistic. As I said, we'll take every frame as it comes. I'm just taking this from an analytical point of view, really, as a commentator rather than a player.
82.
I think 5-2 is the realistic here, but we'll see how we get on. Could well be 4-3 to us. Don't ride soft just yet. Don't think 4-3 to Ronnie would be bad either. 5-2 wouldn't be the end of the world.
91. $97.
This will be a century. First century of the match. From this one visit, and with the black, Ronnie makes a break of 104.
Fantastic clearance. Brilliant.
That's what he's capable of.
104.
We mucked up on the pink. That would be our last shot of the frame.
That is the frame. Well played.
And that's how easily you can give a frame away.
Thank you to 5th frame. Neil Robertson to break.
It's not a bad break-off though, is it? At all. One strength of ours is our break-off. Can see other players struggle with not leaving reds on. But we're pretty consistent at being okay on that front. That's a good one. It's a nice shot, that.
Excellent safety shot. Shot pace will determine success or failure here.
Let's get this back up to bulk. But would you believe his luck there? Would you believe that luck? That red is just over the pocket. If we'd have hit that a bit harder, we'd have got a bit of a fluke. But unfortunately, it's Ronnie who gets it. Left that a little bit awkward. He pots the blue though, absolutely fine.
Tremendous shot.
We know issue at all.
He really looks
And he's
in
back in
fine
again.
form at the moment.
6.
So it almost looks like that frame that we won is to be a bit of an abnormality. And if he makes it 4-1 here, well, we need to wake up.
14.
Frames, if you don't wake up, frames keep being lost. It could well be 6-1 at the end of this session. And it's a long way back from there. It really is.
15.
But that being said, as I said, in last year's World Championship, I think we led Mark Allen by 4 frames to 0. And he came back to 4 each, I think, or something along those lines. But just a safety there from Ronnie. Couldn't make the most of that.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 22.
Good safety though. Just need a bit of bulk cover here. It's right on the cushion. So it's a risk to take on a long pot here. I can see an opportunity for one. But he's not going to bother. Understandable. Oh, but he's hit the jaw. That fearful middle jaw of the middle pocket. That fearful middle jaw of the middle pocket. I mean, that fearful jaw of the middle pocket. Goodness me.
He's attempting to sink
Even my
this
commentary's
into
getting
the
muddled
left
up. I
corner
know we're
pocket.
not playing the best snooker, but goodness me. And would you believe that?
Well, that's not ideal.
1.
This is a half chance.
Black's there, though.
That's
That
well
wasn't the
played
worst
to
shot in the
rest.
world. I just thought, we're 3-1 behind. Balls to it. To be honest, we'll take it on. And sometimes they end nicely. But this is a trickier shot on the cushion.
He's taking on the pot along the cushion.
And that's there as
Oh,
well.
what a shot that is.
Need this to run a little bit.
9.
I'll tell you what. We're getting a little bit of the rub of the green at the moment, aren't we? Goodness me.
We're looking to get back into the frame here.
That's a good black.
16.
Maybe this might be the inspiration we need. Ronnie giving us this chance.
17.
But as always, we need to take it. Pink's no less a risk than the black, to be honest.
Well, he's lost the cue ball a touch. Would have wanted that under better control, really.
Yes, he's lost the cue ball a touch. I couldn't agree more. We've got a straight pot into the middle pocket, but he's lost the cue ball.
He'll want this to drop into the centre pocket.
I do not know what Neil Folds is on about sometimes. Yes, it makes it a little bit more awkward for screwing. Sure, I understand that.
What a wonderful pot.
But I think to say we've lost the cue ball a touch is a bit of an exaggeration. At least we're getting some long pot training, eh? Great chance this would be if we could end up on the right angle on the black. Got to pop the red first, which is there.
Brilliant pot.
Not the best. Could have done with being a little bit better in terms of the angle on the black.
31.
But I'm pretty confident, and we just got to whack it into the reds from here. There's a risk though.
That's a good
It's there.
He's got a real chance here.
And that's a good split.
38.
It's a good chance now. So from a frame where we were writing ourselves off pretty well from the start, we've brought it back.
39.
And now it's time to prove ourselves. Prove that we can do it. And I don't mind at this point, 2 in a frame between Ronnie having a 1 or 2 frame lead. We just want to make sure that it doesn't exceed that. Because there will be peaks and troughs in this match. It's always inevitable in a best of 25. And go and win, I don't know, 5 frames in a row. But equally, could go and, Ronnie can go and then win 5 frames in a row himself. So, only the same.
Playing this with a lot of power.
But that was nice on the black. Good power there shown.
53.
And who knows, after Ronnie's ton, maybe we can make one ourselves. Let's focus on getting the frame one though first, eh?
Looking to play this with a lot of power.
54.
That's pretty much straight on the black. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play the blue. And try and get rid of that red up bulk. Angle's not going to be ideal for this red. So I hope if we just hit the green, maybe that moves it on and gives a decent angle for the red. But we're in a bit of a spot to bother if this doesn't work.
Great pot.
But no, that's fine for me.
59.
Good pot. Very nice.
60.
What's our angle on the blue here? Not too bad at all.
He's an expert long potter and he's taking this on.
Well. Well.
Neil Robertson.
Got to have a confident there.
He's playing for the right corner here.
We got to have a confident.
1.
The worst thing you can do. We played some nice pots this frame,
6.
but that was not a highlight. After all that work, and we narrowly missed the blue, and now Ronnie's got a chance. That was foolish of me, really was. But what can you do?
Now, can he drop this into the right
I've said,
corner?
you make some silly decisions in this game, but it's not worth getting caught up over. The best of 25, you'll probably play some brilliant shots as well, and your opponent will play some terrible ones. So, nothing to get too upset over. But that was a poor shot, especially with the opportunity we've been given.
Nicely positioned for the blue here.
12.
So if he's going to play the blue, he'll be 21 behind with 27 remaining. So will he steal another frame from us? Let's see.
Excellent shot.
19.
Well,
Can't
he's
see
looking
much
to pocket this into the right corner pocket.
trouble in him in that goal.
22.
This will bring him 12 behind. Needs all the balls on the table. That's an interesting way to play that shot. He's going to have to play this blue down to the bottom corner, is he? That's a fine cut to play into the middle pocket. And he's missed it! Well, well, well.
26.
That was the wrong shot to play, surely. That's a bizarre one. But we've got to get this right.
Plenty of risk in this shot.
We don't miss twice, though.
Absolutely fabulous.
We do not miss twice.
That should be it. No real way for his opponent.
And that's a bit of a get out of jail free card for us.
5.
But am I bothered? Absolutely not. That's a little bit unfortunate coming off the jaw there, but oh well. But yeah, we've won this frame. We've won the 5th frame, and that is a massive boost. Really is. Just whack the black round the table, ain't going to hurt. And we bring it back to a 1 frame advantage, Ronnie. So, game on, as far as I'm concerned. That 5-2
Well played.
is something we've achieved, effectively. Even if he goes and wins the next 2 frames. We've done our part. So the aim now is to, what's the word? Reduce the deficit to 4-3. Or maybe even lead after this session. You wouldn't have thought that, would you? But who knows?
This won't be easy.
And he's missed that.
Ooh, we missed the red. Saw an opportunity there. And again, we're getting a little bit hasty, aren't we? That's what we need to avoid. Yes, it's a best of 25, but we can't just go chucking frames away. Anything I will say, not the best chance for Ronnie, and that's a little bit of a poor shot from where he was. It's just a safety here. I'd guess he'd try and get the snooker.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 1.
But he's failed. He has failed there. Just going to get this down to the black cushion. Might be a potting opportunity on. But will he risk it? Was a bit silly to play that red, I will admit. But sometimes just get a hunch. So just a safety. Oh, that was bloody close to the middle, to the corner pocket. I don't know why I keep saying the middle pocket. I had no idea what was going through Ronnie's head there.
But it's a poor result.
So both players haven't been the cleanest so far. It has to be said.
Pace is very important.
If I overhit that.
And in it goes.
1.
Playing this with plenty of power.
It's the only annoying thing when you're playing hard shots.
That's not worked out quite as you intended.
You missed the blue. I mean, what? I don't know what's going on in my head, to be honest, at the moment. Really don't. Why do we need to play it that hard? Seems both of us are cracking under the pressure a little bit here. Both myself and Ronnie. But the table is very much spread out. And I'd argue that there up bulk is probably the best place to be. So 2 points scored all frame, just the 2 reds. Oh, that's a mistake. And he won't get away with it that time.
Not really the result he was after. So this
The only rockets or thunder as well. There's absolutely no rocket or thunder at the moment.
Pot that was.
It's been pretty
With
poor.
confidence and on a bit of a roll at the moment.
1.
So in these sort of frames, it's the player that wakes up earliest, I would argue. Want to get into gear, and hopefully that's us. Well, we've got the chance to.
6.
And for the first time since the start of the game, potentially Get back level pegging. Oh dear.
Really fuming about that.
Ay, 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 ay. Couldn't make it up, could you? You could not make it up. Really couldn't.
This shot depends on perfect pace. He'll be
No,
conscious
nowhere near
of
the pink.
hitting the cue ball here.
It's strange, isn't it, when this sort of thing happens? Two of the best players in the world and
Really the result he was after.
can't seem to get anything.
Foul and a miss. Neil Robertson, 7.
It's been one of those
Neil
frames.
Sullivan, 6. 1.
It's equally one of those frames where, however bad you're playing, and how bad your opponent's playing, it'd rather be you at the table than your opponent. You can continue your bad form, but your opponent can switch on at any time. And I really think that was a good opportunity to bring it back to 3 each. It might well still be. Apart from that one red that's loose,
Pop this into the right corner.
there isn't a hell of a lot of chances for O'Sullivan here, and he's missed the red.
To tighten up his game here.
Ronnie O'Sullivan,
But he gets away with it. But it's dropped for us. And I think what we're just going to do here is a sensible thing, I would say. Just play it up bulk. They were doing at the moment. I wouldn't bank on us to get any sort of pot. And the reds just aren't open, so we'll leave it to Ronnie to see what he can do.
Neil Robertson, 1.
Wasn't particularly bothered about snooker there. He might be a bit more bothered about it. And got one though. And he's left a sniff here. I mean, inner conscience is saying, you've not potted anything all frame. Why on earth are you going for this? Because I knew that would go in, that's why.
It's not the best split.
Great pot.
Disappointed with that.
Brilliant pot. And now we have a big chance. A huge chance now to go and win this frame. These are the sort of frames that at the end of the match are the difference between winning and losing. More so than those frames that are dominated by one player.
8.
You're always going to have these few crunch frames in a game. And if you can come out of it the right end, then you've got a good chance of going out the match a winner.
Nicely on the blue.
But we've got to win this frame. We have to now. We have to put the onus on ourselves to make sure we win this. Put that pressure on us. But I think it'll be a bit of positive pressure. Kick up the backside, I like to call it. A bit of motivation more than pressure.
Well, he's taking it on to the left corner. No issues there.
He's playing very well here.
15.
Bit of a question what we do next. What we are going to do next is do what's sensible, I think. And we're going to use the green. We've got a bit more chance with the green, I would say. Of getting a snooker.
Neil Robertson, 15.
That is touching ball.
Touching ball.
But regardless of whether it is or not, we've got him in a snooker. And I think that was definitely a good move.
He's played that very well.
He's played it well, though. Really has. Nelson spot a bother here. Really has. You lucky bugger. That was lucky. I'll readily admit that. But once again, I don't have too much faith. So I'm just going to get this up to bulk. It's a boring way to play. But considering the way we are and how big this frame is, I think it's a sensible way to play.
Neil Robertson.
Get it right up on the bulk line. He might well take a long pot on, which he's not going to. And now it's a question, I think, for the frame. Who wins this safety battle? Those 3 reds on the cushion aren't going to help anybody's cause who's trying to get a pot on. He's moved the 1 though. That's interesting.
This is building up to be a really interesting test.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't play it that hard. And now it gets a little bit confusing because there is no red that's readily available.
Excellent safety.
What's he going to do here? Get that other red away from the cushion. Are we going to end up in a situation where all the 4, 5 reds together? Possibly.
The success of this shot is reliant on perfect pace.
We're going to have to work hard though to win this. Unless we get a bit of a lucky snooker. If we'd have got a little bit more of legs on that, that might have been a chance.
That's a pretty poor attempt, really.
Oh, right, thanks. Has he tried to play the pot there? I'm not sure. But whatever he's done, it really hasn't worked.
Not what he intended at all. He'll be annoyed with that.
Wasn't going to bother trying playing a opportunistic pot there. I'll leave that down to Ronnie if he wants it. That one on the cushion is just
Well, that's not worked out quite as he intended it to.
so awkward, but he's going to try it, I think. And it's there. Well, fair play to him.
1.
So it's Ronnie O'Sullivan who wins the safety battle that we instigated, remember? After he got out of that snooker superbly. We potted the red from the plant. And then it was just a little bit awkward from there. So we decided to play the safety and, well, it hasn't worked out for us. Unfortunate. But it's been that much of a low scoring frame that anything could happen here. Goes without saying, I think we're probably nearly an hour in now, so those of you who are still here, fair play to you. This is what it's going to be like though for the rest of the season, the West of the World Championship, however long that lasts. Just that kind of tournament. You have to play at the long haul.
Really well played.
15.
And let's move the black effectively. Wonder what he's going to play here. Level on points, of course. So we screw back for the black. That was a nice shot. Bit of an awkward cut, potentially. No problems there.
23.
But it's not over till it's over in this frame. Of course, who wins this frame, don't need me to tell you that it'll be Ronnie who walks away with the session. But it's then our job to win the next one.
24.
But that's a poor shot.
He's lost position here.
Snookered himself.
31.
That was a bizarre shot.
That's beautiful.
Only Ronnie. Only he could turn a snooker around like that. Only he could do that, eh? Remarkable. Well, I'm pretty shocking at getting out of these, as you guys know. Are all aware.
He won't want to underhit this shot.
We've underhit it, I think.
Very well judged shot there.
We've done well, actually, there.
He looks
Really
like
have.
he's trying to get the cue ball tight on the cushion.
We
here.
did well there. Really did. Nice shot. Well, this is a bit of an opportunity for us, I'd say. Hit that any thinner. Potentially get this behind the pink, but no, it's not going to happen. Especially when we whack the pink like that. A little bit harder, and that would have been beautifully on the yellow. Not to be, though. But I can't see him taking this pot on. No, he hasn't. It's not all over yet, this frame. Get this close to the black. That'll do. And the cue ball is right in the corner. I'll take that.
Great shot.
This has got to have been the longest frame. But he's going to pot it there. And that is a clanger from Ronnie. An absolute clanger.
That's not ended well. Tough shot, but not.
My God, will he be disappointed with that? But has to be said that now we are the favourites to bring this back to 3 each. How many turns have we had this frame? I'd love to know.
Tricky pot coming up.
I'd love to know how many flips we've had in this frame. Change the lead, change the table. It's just been one of those frames.
4.
One of those that we all live for.
Pretty straightforward shot here.
But we've got to clear the colours up, which is a little bit of an awkward task. With them all, bar the green, being off their spot.
This is being played towards the left middle pocket. Great shot.
We're managing just okay at the moment.
9.
Blue might be a bit awkward on though.
He's taking this brown on. Well, an excellent pot.
We'll deal with that quite nicely. Yes, it's not straight, but it will certainly do.
13.
This is going to be awkward. This blue will put us ahead though, as it does.
Not really what he was intending.
And as for the pink,
Position here.
I've got no clue. Just do the most sensible thing and line up behind it.
Not really the result.
That
he
was
after.
poor.
Neil Robertson, 18.
Wow.
6.
That's how quickly you can be really stupid and lose a
This
frame,
goes in,
folks.
That'll be the frame.
That is a lesson in how to lose a frame.
30. And the frame.
Wow.
And now
It's a feeling of Ronnie really got away with it there.
Thank you, the 7th
That was
frame.
shocking from
Neil
us.
Robertson to break.
That was a stinker. Because it was very likely we could have come into this frame with a chance to maybe even lead after the session, the 7-frame session here. But we can't now. It's either going to be 5-2 or 4-3. What's happened's happened, and it's our job now to see if it'll end 4-3. Try and give ourselves the best chance possible going into the next session.
1.
I think he's playing this with a lot of power.
This is the problem with these hard shots.
Loose shot.
8.
That was a bit of a stinker, wasn't it? That was a bit of a stinker.
That's not the best shot I've seen.
Neil Robertson, 8. Touching ball.
Oh, but what on earth was that? Goodness me. I don't know if that was intended or what. I think where he's ended up, surely it's got to be, but that's a baffling shot.
Very tricky shot coming up.
That's a decent way to recover from it.
Not a great split.
Not a great split. The reds are all over the place.
1.
And we've got a straight pink. I'd love to know what Neil Folds defines as a great split. I really would.
What a
I'm going to ask him
prolific
that
long
question.
potter he is, so I'd assume he'd take this on. What a
It's
magnificent
anything that I
shot
call a
is.
decent split. Clearly he wouldn't.
7.
He's marginally close facing the blue, but it doesn't.
8.
And now from here we've just got to get it off our shoulders and focus on
13.
just winning this frame the best we can. Best thing for us here would be to smash a century in and go, well, look, we mucked up the last frame. Not going to do that again though. We're not really past this kind of get the frame on the board phase though at the moment, I feel. We're not into any sort of rhythm, which worries me a little bit.
19.
All we've really been focused on so far is chasing Ronnie O'Sullivan's lead. And maybe that might have led to some silly shots, I don't know. Love to know what you guys think in the comments. This is a big frame though, this. They're all big frames, of course. They all mean the same as one another. And all equal in value, the same.
20.
But in terms of momentum and other factors, some frames just mean more than others. That'll do nicely.
26.
That hasn't really worked out at all.
27.
Again, well, it's a good point to be fair. Not a bad point. We tried to play this away, and it really hasn't worked.
He'll be disappointed with that.
Neil
We've
Robertson.
played some of our poorest snooker we have all season today.
Into the right corner.
I really believe that.
1.
We just don't seem to be in the flow of things. I mean, our highest break, I think he's a 60. But we've got nowhere near that in any of the other frames.
Well, no surprises here with the long pot attempt.
I don't think Ronnie's played fantastically either. Sure, he's played decently, and that frame which he got a century, he played very well, but in that last frame, neither of us were any good.
7. 12.
That's more worrying for us, I would say. There's been a few frames that have been very close that Ronnie has come out the better of. We need to change that tide. Because if he does it again here, that'll be two. That'll be 3 frames that Ronnie's come out the better of us, and perhaps he shouldn't have. And it could be us 5-2 up.
19.
Not over yet, though. What I will say, whatever this ends up being, 5-2, 4-3, there's a Titanic next session to go on.
24.
Well,
Because Ronnie will be looking to extend his lead. Whatever it is. That's a lovely pot, by the way. Whatever his lead is, he'll be looking to extend that, whether it's 1 frame or 3 frames. I think he'd be pleased as punch to retain a 3-frame lead for a while.
30.
It'll be very interesting, the dynamic. Whether at a 5-2 lead, Ronnie O'Sullivan starts taking more risks, more liberties. Maybe gets a bit complacent. And we're pretty good at second sessions, I've found in the past.
31.
We can come back from this sort of deficit. We haven't done it ever before against Ronnie O'Sullivan, though.
Nicely onto the colour.
38.
Not the best positional shot.
But because of that shot, it's not frame over just yet. 8 points ahead, 43 left. It's not a bad shot though, is it?
Well, he's managed the snooker. Let's see what happens here.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 43.
Oh, don't want to play that hard, goodness
and he
me.
certainly doesn't want to overhit this.
Well, didn't hit anything there. Overhit it. Suppose didn't hit the blue. A little bit of solace, but we didn't hit anything.
That's a pretty poor attempt.
Foul and a miss.
But he's going to play on, is he? He is. And that might well be seen as a mistake. That's a little bit of a poor shot. Not the best chance for us, I'll agree with that, but a chance is a chance.
No more than half a chance here. Outstanding. Stunning pop.
You'd be mistaken for not thinking this isn't like an exhibition. Because the way both of us have played so far has been pretty poor. Weird, isn't it? You get frames and periods in games like this where neither player seems to be playing very well. But it's just the onus on you to play better than your opponent, and hopefully you get a bit of luck.
7.
And you start winning the frames and chalking it back. We've got an opportunity here, but as you've seen in previous frames, we've mucked it up at this stage.
That's a great pot.
So you just never know. Can we bring it back to 4-3? Possibly.
Just the colours now.
I wouldn't like to say anything for definite.
Not the ideal result, but it could have been worse.
16.
Bit of a recovery shot to play here for the brown.
Oh, tremendous pot.
And there wasn't really much of a recovery gone on there.
For a positional shot. Superb.
19.
No more
It's tight,
than
this.
half a chance here.
We're going to get the luck of the gods? No, we're not.
Oh, so close. He needed some luck there, and he didn't get it.
Neil Robertson, 19.
So is this going to turn again?
Close, but
Missed
not
the brown.
Just wants to sink this into the left corner.
And we get a second chance at it. That's the way to play it.
4.
As I said, this is more like an exhibition match. Very peculiar offensive gone so far.
Great queuing there.
2 balls to go.
Should mean no way back into this frame for his opponent.
As you heard,
9.
should be no way back for O'Sullivan, but
Neil Robertson, 9. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 6.
I'll tell you something, I haven't had that for a long while. That hasn't happened for
6.
3-4 months.
This for the frame.
30. And the frame, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Talk about jinxing yourself.
In the bag.
We've potted the blue and there's no way back, but I won't say anything just yet. That is just the typical way in which it goes. And we get that little problem there. I don't know how it happens. I don't remember pulling forward on the analog stick, but the game seemed to recognise we did. And we missed the pink. Didn't get anywhere near it, of course. And well, Ronnie won the frame. And I'll tell you something, that session is certainly one to forget. It's 5-2 for Ronnie O'Sullivan. And a very peculiar way to end the episode. I really don't have any words. But if you enjoyed that, mates, leave a like down below. It's going to be an interesting session. Another probably 7 frames in the next session. 7 or 8. I'll assess where we are. And we'll either play 7 or 8. Or maybe even 9. As I say, we'll see where we are. And assess whether we have a shorter or a longer session. But I hope you guys have enjoyed. As I said before, leave a like if you enjoyed. And we will be back on Wednesday with the second part of this World Championship match against Ronnie O'Sullivan. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye for now.